Yeah, so welcome to the gold, lithium, uranium webinar for this evening. I hope you're enjoying it. Cindy, you didn't get your sign up one for the other one. I'll make you a panelist. Obviously the link didn't come through for you. I didn't realize uranium was so beautiful. Look at the colors out of this. This is awesome. You are now panelist, Cindy. I didn't make you panelist before. And thank you all for attending. I hope you get a lot out of this, and it's a useful thing for you to do and to attend. I see a lot of old Profit Hunter Group members in here, and a lot of current Profit Hunter Group members in here, and I'm always amazed when I do these free ones that it's mainly Profit Hunter Group members or past members that turn up to these, and I hope you get a lot out of it. I'm always surprised that new people don't turn up. Maybe I'm scary. I probably am very scary for people. Frightening. I'm such a heavy marketer. Here's our disclaimer and warning. This is general advice only by Desk Trading Proprietary Limited, a corporate or authorised representative 289-519 of Alpha Securities, AFSL 330757, Suite 310, Bridge Street, Sydney. This is general advice and does not constitute financial product advice and does not take into account your investment objectives, financial situations or particular needs. Prior to seeking advice from a Desk Trading Proprietary Limited, you should consider your broker's financial services guide, the ADEST and Profit Hunters Financial Services Guide, which is available from the profithunters.com.au website. You should read the PDS and do all sorts of other things to make sure that you're comfortable and understand the risks that you're taking on, and whether you're in danger of making money or in danger of losing money. So there's a lot to it. Most of you know me. I probably aren't known by the YouTube generation, although I do spend a fair bit of time doing stuff on. I have videos and recordings on YouTube that go on forever and ever and ever. Amen. And they may be useful to look into. And just understand that trading is risky. Trading can be hard on your bank account. It can make you money, but if you trade derivatives, you can also amplify your gains and losses. I am not Plus 500. I am not anybody who's going to promise you to make any money. I am going to give you what I think I can give you, which is my own ideas in the markets, and hopefully you can take them away and work with them and do anything you like with them in order to make some money and try and get yourself a bit of positions and work out for yourselves what you can do. We can't accept any responsibility for you making money, losing money or otherwise, and that's really about it, really. I guess that's the big thing to think about. And we'll move on. And it's risky, and there may be fees and things and all that sort of stuff. I may have positions in the markets that I'm talking about. If I do, I will tell you. If I don't say something, I am sorry. I didn't mean not to tell you. There's no omissions here. If I've got an interest, I'll endeavour to tell you. I do try and tell my Profit Hunter Group members when I've got a trade that I will take or that I want to take, and Cindy does the same things. Cindy's a very active trader. I probably do about 50 trades a week. I don't know how many Cindy takes, but she's probably more active than I am in the trades that she takes. 8 or so trades a day, so I'm fairly passive sort of trader. Cindy's a lot more active. I like to get in for the bigger runs. and work from there. So tonight we're going to learn how to pick turning points while limiting risk and protecting your capital through Elliott Wave with me. Here's how to interact with the webinar. Basically, you can put up your hand and ask a question, and we'll have a little bit of interest in that. Now, I've called it gold, lithium, and uranium. So what we're going to do is work out when to hold, when to fold, how to judge market strength, and when to pass, and discover what's pretty useful keeping you in balance in these markets. So I'd like to know whether you're an investor, a trader, a deer frozen in the headlights. Have you made a lot of money lately? Have you profited greatly from the big boom that we've seen? And if you have, what are you doing about it? Are you banking the cash? Just give me some ideas about who you are and what you do. And many of you I do know. Some of you have been away for a while. You can let me know what you've been doing and fill me in on the details, so I'm not just sitting here with no information. You may have completely changed, become a fund manager, become a owner of a new farm or something, and you suddenly got uranium sitting on your acres. So what have people been doing, as well as what do you like to do? Let me know. And now a lot of these stocks that we're going to look at have some different hats. Suddenly Poseidon used to be nickel, now it's become gold. Also has some lithium in there apparently. So yeah, I'm interested in what you are doing and what you are liking. And what have we got here? Got some people saying trader investor, trader banking the catch for Richard. Well done. So Ian, trader investor. And who's attended a webcast with me before? Because I don't have to. Cindy saying banking the cash for now. So I want your permission to talk about the Profit Hunter Group at some stage. Cindy is probably my second best trader that I had in the group. One person's gone on to make, from what I'm told by his friends, like $10 million a year out of trading. I taught him how not to lose money now, and he went on to do his own thing in a number of ways. Cindy is probably the second best that I've seen so far. I picked the top a couple of times in BHP. There's another top coming. I've given the number for that already. If you do the forecasts, you will see that. The forecasts are available from the website now. If you want to go and look at the forecast from last night, you can look at that right. You can get that after this webinar. This webinar is free. However, there will be a recording available for it to non-members. Non-members will be able to attend. Will be able to watch for $17 for this. So it pays to get in to turn up for this at the right time, not after the recording. And that's about all I can say to that. Okay, so let's move on. I'm all of these things. I've done a lot. People who've been sent to jail, or people they tried to send to jail, like Larry Williams. People who've been fined for being good at what they do, and being brokers, and also somebody who was very brilliant, Curtis Arnold, pattern probability analysis. They went after him. Dietrich saying, I'm a trader, sometimes frozen at the bottom of waves 2 and 4. XMJ finished its wave 4. Well, we'll see that. Okay, basically you all know about what I'm do. I'm a bit ADHD, so if you stick a shiny thing in front of me, I will go for it. So I like to learn things, go through things. I'm fairly quick, but I'm fairly intuitive in what I do. I've lost 10 million bucks trading in just 6 months. Prior to that, I'd made 65 million. That 6 months was better learning than the that 6 months of losing 10 million was way better than the learnings I had in 2.5 years making 65 million. Net up $55 million. So I've been around doing Qantas work for Qantas Treasury, corporate treasury generally, and then worked in then proprietary trading Macquarie Bank's own money. And they said to me, why do you trade such small positions? At that time, $3 million positions was considered small. I said, well, you only gave me $500,000 capital to play with. He said, why don't you trade with 20 million bucks? You'd be making so much more money. Because I'd take a smaller risk and parlay it into a large amount. So what happened was they liked the big swinging dicks, and that didn't make sense to my risk profile. I like to trade small to win big. We'll talk about what's in your biggest fear in trading. My biggest fear is basically not remembering stuff I'm doing. That's my biggest fear. Getting too busy. Okay, so here's a classical Elliott wave pattern. Most of you have probably got this idea, but in case you haven't, wave 1 is the first wave. We don't know when wave 1 starts generally. Very hard to work out. We can generally see it in hindsight once wave 2 is forming, and we get about a 61.8% retracement in wave 2. Wave 2s, we're going to look at some wave 2s in the stocks we're looking at, in the categories we're looking at. We will keep this only to the webinar, to the markets that we're talking about, which are lithium and gold. Any other things, if you want that, forecast is available from the website. Okay, so next cab off the rank is to wave 2. Wave 2 is about a 40% chance of being right if you get this right. So on the fourth wave, the second wave, we have a market move down, and hopefully it'll do 3 sections. Sometimes it'll do 4 sections. We'll talk about this, but generally on average it's about a 61.8% retracement. Okay, so what I like to do is to spend a fair bit of time trying to work out where the retracement should be. There is one coming up in a stock I can tell you now that I missed out on personally trading, and Cindy got a hold of it and she carved it up, this stock. We're not going to talk specifically about this stock because it's coming up into a position where I really want to get a hold of it. And profit owner group members, it's not, unfortunately it's not in this category, but its target is something that I've been looking at for a little while, and calling it lower. And Cindy, actually on the way up, I picked it through a thing called stocks to watch that I do. I picked it up just as it was starting to break up. It's now coming back down into the right area. Anyway, this is a classical Elliott wave pattern. Generally, wave 1 will have a 5-wave structure that's a bit hard to work out what it's doing, but eventually the market comes back in a retracement that we start to work out what's going on, and that's wave 2. Wave 2s give us about a 40% chance of being profitable. But the beauty about wave 2 is once it starts breaking back through the bottom of wave, the wave this low here, and this high here, and then when it breaks through the top of wave 1, wave 2 gives us start of wave 3, and wave 3 is poetry in motion. These are the things you want to get hold of. Wave 3 has some exceptional characteristics like runaway gap, and then eventually somebody wants to take profit, the buyers get exhausted, don't want to pay the higher prices. The sellers want to take some profits, and we get what's called a wave 4, which is an A, B, C, D, E decline. If this one is a simple correction, this is a more complicated triangular correction, generally falling into A, B, C. And then we get a wave 5 pattern, which often has the same length of wave 1 for finishing. Once that's complete, then we look for a bigger retracement of about a 61.8%. They call it fractals. Fractals within waves within waves. So here's wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, wave 2 is the bottom wave 2. Most people think the market is going to keep on going, and they're really depressed, highly depressed. They're really freaking out because they've been thinking that they've been going to make money by being long on wave 1, and then they just crash. And they've probably been thinking it's been coming down here, and therefore it's a continuation. So there's a real panic. In fact, the negativity is the most on wave 2. It's an incredible panic, and it's beautiful to watch. The top of wave 3, it's party time. Everyone's making money. Guess where we could be right now in the overall market? Could it be wave 3? Don't think so. Well, I talked about that last night in the webinar. So wave 3 is followed by wave 4, and wave 4 is confusing. So if you're confused about what's going on in a stock, it's probably wave 4, or it's wave B in an ABC pattern. Let's have a look at the masterful and delightful and lovely different stocks that we can choose from. Some of these are stocks that appear to be useful for being in wave 4s looking for higher. Do you remember what I said about wave 4s? Wave 4s happen before wave 5s. I didn't give you the statistics for wave 4s going up into wave 5s. Yeah. What that is that wave 5s generally are preceded by wave 4s 70% of the time. You get a wave 5 that makes new highs, and you can make some money out of it. That's one of the most fun things about it. That's why they call me Mr. 70%. 70% accuracy in terms of trades, of usefulness. When people run statistics, 69%, 70%. That's what helps, because I stare at 4 waves all the time. I know it's weird. I know it's probably a little bit sick, but there's not much else I can talk about it there. That's it's a sin. It's a good thing to do. Okay, so in terms of gold stocks, looking for higher, wave 4 higher, MLX, POS, so Poseidon, RXM. Poseidon is one of these ones which is a gold stock and a bloody uranium stock and a lithium stock. I've got no idea. It's got all sorts of things in its mine. BOA, BSM in lithium, LIT, PLL. Sometimes I don't know the names of these. PNN, I think that's Panini. POS, as we've called, RDY, and Rio, which is also into lithium. Other ones are GBE.ASX. Now, it's time for you to choose which one you're interested in. I will take the first person to give me a question in that. The stocks that are interested in, and then on the uranium we have other ones which are of interest. So PLL for Michael. Okay, so let's look at PLL. Let's see whether we can come up with something that makes sense for PLL. Oh, not bad. This is one of Cindy's trades. I put it on. I take Cindy's trades too sometimes. That's a very interesting one there. MZZ. Piedmont, PLL for Michael. Now what we can see here is I'm looking at the monthly charts. I always start with the monthly charts. You can see clearly the monthly charts are trending. Volume is okay. We've not quite had 3 drives to the top. We do have a tad of divergence going on in the ADX. We could call this wave 3. Let's call it wave 3 with this as A, B, C, wave 2 bottoms here. So we've got third wave. Fantastic. Okay, what can we do? Well, firstly, I'm interested in buying it down to 51 cents because that's the 38.2% retracement. That if we're getting a fourth wave, that would be a nice place for it to land into. Let's drop into the we're targeting about 96 cents on the top side. On the weekly charts, what we can see here is it could be forming. We've got this one, two. Yeah, so we've got a fourth wave of lesser degree forming here, which could take it down to that 51 cents area still. Notice that the close will not overlap that one unless it closes below 54 cents. So watch that close if you're looking to pick Piedmont up. Stop loss should be probably nestled underneath 45 cents. So that is a pretty cool thing to do. What's next cab off the rank? We will look at wave 2s. Now, do you remember what happened when I said 70% retracement, sorry, 70% chance in a fourth wave? We look for those characteristics. For those retracements. So it's a good one to pick there, Michael. Now, anybody here want to look at uranium stocks? Nobody wanted to touch gold, which I find interesting. Nobody cares about uranium? Okay, so we'll do GBEB, and I'll choose MLX. So we'll do GBE and MLX just for the sake of having a look at it. Cindy, your sound is on, and I'm listening to myself, which is really annoying because I hate the sound of my own voice. Okay, so this is GBE Global Metals. Now, I have to take it on some people's word for it that this is actually, see, I haven't actually put it fully through the process. Oh dear, come on. The trouble with when I do this, I have a specific scan, and when I come up with these things, sometimes I haven't actually put it through the whole process. So this is global metals. Gary, we're doing it in the ones that are, what we're doing is we're choosing from the list that I've come up with in each waves. No, I'm going to do one in each. Everybody got an opportunity to ask the question. Kevin, is just if I can move on because there's a few more that I've got to go to. Okay, so yeah, sorry, just when I ask from getting quick, and otherwise, if I've got time left over at the end, then I can do it. But let's you hold the thought till later. I'll just do one from each block. Okay, so what have we got here? We have stocks in a fourth wave, so we might have wave 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 1. So this is a tough one. This is probably a third wave here, entering into a fourth wave on the weekly or daily charts for GBE Globe Metals. Now you can see it's not well traded. It's not so much, it's not a highly illiquid stock. Obviously, I think it might be an explorer outside of Australia, GBE Globe Metals. Anyway, there's a little fourth wave forming. We could say this we've got a wave 1, 2, there. 1, 2, 3, and then a fourth wave forming. Would it come back down to 42 cents? I doubt it. Probably come back down to 5 cents. Your stop loss should be below 4 cents if you're buying it. gunning for 8 cents on this one. Okay, that's GBE. And the other one that I chose was MLX. And again, we see some good volume. Ooh, tough one. Tough one. It's got to really get through 21 cents because it might be doing a kiss and a cuddle and then come back down to about 13 cents. Let's have a closer look at this. So 19 cents is a reasonable target, but 25 cents is good. If it can clear 20 cents, then that's good. Above 20 cents, look for 25 cents. Have a stop loss below 14 cents. Currently, I'll drop down onto the dailies. We can see a triangle forming here. We've seen some sort of square pattern here, a rectangular pattern, not necessarily a triangle. Ooh, that's tough. If it does come back down to fourth wave of lesser degree, or actually, yeah, look for that 12 cents area for a pickup with a stop loss below 11 cents, hoping for 19 cents and possibly 25 cents. Let's go through and look at stocks in wave 2. There's a long list, that's why you can see I truncated everything. Hopefully there's a Lithium sitting in here for you. Lithium Australia here, Kevin. Okay, so stocks to watch in wave 2. Remember the percentages of getting it right in wave 2 are what? What are the percentages of getting it right in wave 2? If you are doing Elliott wave all the way, the right way. Anybody got that? How many people have attended my webinars before? It's about 40% chance of getting it right. And what's the average that it retraces? On average, what's the retracement? In a wave 2, in a normal retracement. Any takers? 61.8%. Good on you, Ray. David, well done. Gary, back to score. That's a fourth wave retracement you were talking about. Yep. David, well done. 2 Davids in a row. Well done. Okay, so stocks to watch in wave 2, looking for wave 3 higher. Now this is the gold. This is really where we kick ass and we just sit there back and we go, God, that was so good buying. One of the stocks that I've been playing with and I've been loving has been Boss Resources, and I'll just give you an example of it. This has been one of my pets, and I've been giving it to the Profit Hunter Group members for quite a while, and this has been Boss Resources, and we've been playing with this really. We've started playing with it around here, and it's just been beautiful. Notice it's in wave 3. I own some Boss Resources. I don't own as much as I did in lower points. I took some profits up around that 10 cent area after buying it back down here. So one of these moves is beautiful when it comes up from 6 cents to 12 cents to 19 cents. Really nice thing to do. So nobody's interested in any of these stocks. Going, gone. I'll choose my own one. Let's do Kinross. K-I-N. For the goldies. Or actually, Michael's come up with a quick question. So, SLR. Silver Lake. Now we can see here, it's getting drilled, isn't it? Really. I own Silver Lake from, I think, the 47 cent mark. And I took some profit up here and I bought some back in, re-established and fiddled and faddled. But really, if you're looking at a wave 2, it's sitting around that $1.13. By the way, the software that I use costs $3,100. If you're interested in this, if you can pay for that, $3,100. Let me know. You can also the software costs about, I think, about $120 a month for this. That's the rough one, depending on exchange rates. So this retracement, and that's for getting the data and using the software. Software is coded into what's called e-signal. So looking down towards probably that $1.13 would be the normal thing to look for. I have a suspicion it won't get there. I think it'll get to about $1.35. We notice volume is increasing to the downside. So SLR is still on the shit list for a little while. And I own it, and I'm telling you, it's a bit on the shit list. Okay, so nobody was interested in lithium stocks, so I'll choose a lithium stock. Let's look at POS. All three are up for grabs. You pick the first one to pick one on those lists. It gets their question answered. So here we have Poseidon, big triangle. Smells like a fourth wave. Dan's gone for uranium. Smart move, Dan. Okay. This is a big triangle. Why would we think this might be a wave 2? Well, we think this might be a wave 2 because it's pulling back. So if this drops out of here and falls down through 6 cents, we could expect it down to about 4.7 cents, where we will pick it up for the end of wave 2. And this could be simply a B wave triangle and a move down to this area here. So I'm never sure about Poseidon myself, just because of its history. If you go back in time, you probably look back to when it was, I don't think the data will cover this, but it might be back to, I remember 1968, it was called the Poseidon Adventure. I drew a comic about it when I was a little kid in 5th grade. I never forget that, the Poseidon boom. It's more like a fourth wave or a wave B. Now we can see volume falling as price is rising, but price has been going down, so volume. So there's more confusion. Think about that 6.2 cents if you want to pick it up short term with a stop loss below 6 cents, and then look for that 4 cents on the downside for Poseidon. Now Peninsula, PEN. This is the uranium stock. We were talking about a list out of these ones. So this is here. Next one, you'll be looking at wave 5s. These are bargains. Okay. Peninsula. We can see it's got a bit of a brick on its head. Volume was good, but it really needs to close above 16 cents to bang towards 19 cents. Above 21 cents, look for 27 cents. Currently, it looks like a fourth wave, maybe a wave 1. Let's look at the pattern on the inside of it. Yeah. If it's going to be wave 2, it's somewhere going to land between 8.5 cents and 9.6 cents. So we've seen the first plunge, and it's not gone on with the job, so it's kind of a little bit wacky. So let's call this wave an A, B, C, down towards 9.6 cents, maybe as far as 8.2 cents. If you're buying, have a stop loss below 8 cents for Peninsula, and hope for third wave to kick in, probably at least up to 19 to 20 cents on the top side. That's a corrective target there, it's not a projecting target. Next one we're going to look for, now wave 4s, wave 5s. Stocks in wave 5s down, which are looking for a reversal. These are called bargain hunts. Now we have here, when we look here, we have stocks in wave 5 downs looking to end, and then looking for higher prices, like the completion, the start of wave 1. So at the moment we can see XGD, De Grey, Alkane, BGS, MGV, RRL, RSG, SBM, NCM, Gold Road, Gold. Can anyone see what is going on with these gold stocks? They're generally the big ones that were the stars of the last 3 or 4 years. RRL, RSG, SBM, NCM, Gold Road and Gold that have been kicked. Now I understand nobody wants to talk about gold, so I'll choose the gold one. We did Alkane today. I've got a fair bit of De Grey. I've got them from way lower. I sold out of a bunch of them and then I bought back in. Not carrying a huge position in De Grey. I've got Gold Road from way lower down. I've got Newcrest from a bit higher up, and also because left over from divorce. SBM and RSG and RRL are probably the ones that I'd be most interested in. Raymond's finally come up with a question. That's good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. SBM. Now this has been one I haven't liked for the Profit Hunter group. So let's see where it's doing now. And it's still unlikable. It's a little bit better, but I'd really start to like it above $2.44. Closing the month out above $2.44, then I'd look for $3.14, the number of pi. So we've seen a deep retracement. Volume is not excessive, very low base ADX, so it could be good for, could be reasonable for a turn up. Let's look on the weekly charts. It's still a bit ordinary, really, isn't it? So getting above $2.30 on a, no, here we go, $2.36 on a closing price basis for the week is a good thing with a buy, for a buy with a stop loss below $2.15. But don't hold your breath there, Raymond. It's not as fantastic as it could be. Okay, let's go into the next level of where what we're talking about, and it's called your lithium. And we have BGS and N27. Sounds like a Mexican crime gang Donald Trump would be unhappy with, and he could be called a racist because he doesn't like Mexican crime gang people coming across the border. N27, that's not a good stock. N27, it's not coming up for me, so we'll do BGS, which I think is Biraman, isn't it? Oh, there's something wrong. It's not the problem with N20, BGS. Okay. The double A is doing it for me. Just a second. BGS. Not happening. N27. Maybe my things jumped out. Ah, bugger. Let's do it another way. BGS. Nope. N27. Maybe they're old stocks. No, don't have them. Anyway, so we'll move on quickly. I just don't have the charts on them if they're still alive. Next one is ERA, which I thought had gone down the dunny. MLI, SXX, and UTO for uranium. Is there anything in there which will pick up on this one? Let's look at MLI. Everything's coming back in invalid. That's weird. Have I overstayed my welcome? No, MLI. What about SXX? Here we go, we have stock. SXX is called Southern Cross Exploration, it looks like. Definitely in a corrective sort of pattern. A very tiny little stock. This is the monthly chart. Notice it doesn't even trade some months a real range. Okay, so we see here it's had a good run up, it's failed, and then it's come back down with decreasing volume. This had increasing volume, decreasing volume. So I like this if it can close above 0.6 of a cent. I like it even better if it closes above 0.8 of a cent. It's a bit risky. I wouldn't put a lot of money on it if you're talking about it, but you just never know. Look at that, chicken scratchings on the weekly charts. Not really something to play with, but that's gives us the idea. It's getting down near that retracement area that we would like to participate in if it becomes a real stock. So it's a kind of a deep pockets trade. So that was it for the number of the stocks. Cindy, who's there? Somebody said GLN. Okay, so Cindy, I'm going to hand it over to you. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you one of the things that I've been most interested in has been silver, and I'll get Cindy, if you can mute it again. We've had a PHG trades long silver and long gold, and I've liked silver a lot more for a lot of reasons. I look at a thing called the gold-silver ratio, and until until gold gets through the 70 times silver ratio, it's still stuff. This is the weekly chart, and we've seen this decline. So my preference is for silver. So one of the stocks I've been playing with quite a lot has been silver mines. Been trading in and out of it, and we've been having some beautiful moves. Buying tending to be the silver SVLOB, which are the options. And we saw a great run. Both Cindy and I took profit up in these areas here. We were looking for Cindy got it at 36 cents. I think I got it at 32 cents. Bought in at 21 cents a few days before, which was really good fun. Also been lurking in this 19 cents area. So silver mines is for me a bit better than gold stocks at the moment, but gold is trying to break up a bit. It's nowhere near as good as silver in terms of the futures and the physical. I'll hand over to Cindy because she's got some stuff to say about Gallon, PDN, and I'll let her run with that one. After you, Cindy. Over to you. I'll make you a presenter.
Can you hear me now, David?
Yeah, I'll make you presenter.
Okay. Look, obviously the whole market is made up of very many different sectors, and within those sectors, obviously, there's a few sectors we've identified. Show my screen. Can you see my screen now? So within the... Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, so we'll just start with the uranium sector. Normally, I don't look at shares below 10 cents, and the main reason is because fund managers aren't allowed to look at shares below 10 cents. So unless the fund managers and all their money is getting behind something, it's really not going to work, in my opinion. I've lost more money than I care to remember trading those penny stocks. So I have a very strict set of criteria, and my my criteria used to be no stocks below 20 cents, but under certain conditions, because I have been caught out by Dave. Anyway, let's just look. In terms of the uranium sector, I've liked PDN, and as per Elliott wave. You can see I got in just after wave 1. It was probably down at about 12 cents, and I've had a great move from there up to wave 3. And now what I am seeing right now is this is like small a, b, c, which is part of an A correction, and now we're up, and there's a chance we may go much sharper down, because if we look at what the actual market is doing, this is just on CMC. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, the futures are quite a bit lower at the moment. So this is a share that obviously I've traded in PDN, and if I just bring this back, I have a spreadsheet. So I started buying PDN there at about 11 cents, and I buy and I sell and I buy and I sell. And at the moment, having banked some cash, I've made some money on PDN. So this is a spreadsheet of all the buys and sells I keep doing, and I've managed to make some money on PDN. Another one of the uranium stocks I did like and have suggested was DYL, I think it is. Let me just see if I can find it somewhere along here. So again, I try and find shares or sectors that are moving higher, and I suggest them in the Traders Cave, and I get the buys and sells. So again, where Dave looks for wave 4s, I look for wave 2s, because I find once it goes above the top of wave 1, you get this huge strong move up. And so again, like with PDN, if I just show you with DYL, where's DYL? Over here. So DYL, I got it about 20 cents. And my biggest problem is I don't always ride the waves to the very top. I do ride them, but I think 200-300% is great. I managed to get afterpaid $11 earlier this year, but I sold out at about 30, thinking 300% was good. Anyway, these are some of the uranium stocks I have traded. Again, with the whole overall market, either that's all of wave 4, or this is only A of 4, B of 4, and we've still got a big move down, which will complete the whole of wave 4. Again, this move up in wave 3 has been very strong, So the stronger the move up, the longer and the stronger the move down is going to be. So those are some of the lithium, uranium stocks that I have traded for Traders Cave. And let's going on to lithium, which is a sector. Now, again, lithium, one of my favorites was Galaxy. I, again, traded Galaxy. I was buying here, actually, at about 70 cents, and I sold out at $3. $3.18 actually was one of it. Again, I have my little spreadsheet of buys and sells that I do with Galaxy, and as you can see, I started off, I had 30,000 at 77 cents, and then I sold somewhere around 3.15, buying and selling. But at the end of the day, I've made my money on Galaxy, and I'm awaiting a decline. And similar to many other stocks I'm following, you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. You've made a massive rise up in wave 3. I don't think this is all of wave 4. I think this is A of 4. You've had a B of 4, and I think we've got a long move, a fair bit more to go. Again, this is falling below the 50%. It's underperforming. So I think this is one I like to watch, but it's not doing that well. So I'm just looking, it's on my to-do list. I've made some great money with the Traders Cave members on this one. And then there's another one, I think it was GLN, another lithium stock. Normally, certain shares in certain sectors all tend to do the same thing, and sometimes they do something different. But again, this gallon was a share I got at about 25 cents. We have been riding it top of wave 1, there's wave 2, and we had it all the way up to wave 3. So now, again, the same pattern I'm seeing everywhere in the market. After this long wave up, wave 3, we've got A of 3, B of 3, A of 4, B of 4, and C of 4, which means it still has to have a good retracement coming down, which goes with my overall thinking that I think the market is due for a retrace. As I have been suggesting on Traders Cave, selling down positions above 6,800, XJ looking tired, tightening stops. This is what we do on Traders Cave. Where are we now? Sorry. Where are we now? Oops. David, where have I gone now? Oops. Where am I? You still there?
I am. I'm just get you to stay onto the gold.
I don't know where I went.
Stick back on.
Oh, wait,
gold.
there I am.
Stick
where
back
am
on. I don't know. Go back to the.
Okay, so
stick onto the
go back to wherever it is.
Yes, stick onto the gold and silver stocks.
Okay, then
uranium,
let's just go to some of the gold stocks. Okay, so again, so as regards GLN, this is another stock that I've had, GLN. Where's GLN? There we go. So I started off at about 23 cents. I bought a nice chunk of them, and then I've been selling out at 50, 55. So again, with GLN, I've sold right down. I don't buy huge positions. I just take little bits of profit, small, and at the end of the day, I've banked some cash, and I'm happy with that. Then more recently, I've been watching the gold price, and oops, there it goes. This has been my analysis, or the one I've been watching in terms of the gold price and what the gold stocks are going to do. Let me just get the day chart. Sorry. Oopsie. It's looking a bit messy. Template, apply defaults. There you go. All right. So what I'm seeing, and the basis for is that on the top of wave 1, we've had wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. And that all forms wave 1 of higher degree. And then we've had wave 2 down and A, B, wave 3 up. Right now, I think we have been completing wave 4 of sorts. We've had a false breakout, a false breakdown, but right now, gold is what, 1846, and it appears to have broken this flag pattern. And I'm seeing a very similar pattern in all the other, some of the gold stocks. Our gold index is pretty pathetic at the moment, but again, MZZ is just one of the shares that I'm watching in the gold index. I watch a few, and this one has actually triggered today. Again, it was anticipating, it was about to move, and confirmatory is that it actually moved. So we have anticipatory indicators and confirmatory indicators, and there we just have our stop loss. So if this is wave 2, then we've got a fair bit higher to go on wave 3. And what I am seeing in many of the gold stocks, just let's go to a few SLR. So Silver Lake is another one, like Dave, I've been watching. if that's wave 3, 4, and 5, all of this just forms wave 1 of higher degree. So we have A, B, C, a hell of a big flag pattern. But if we look previously, we had a flag pattern there, and it made new highs. We had another flag pattern there, sort of, and it went on to make new highs. So again, the bigger the fall, the bigger the rise, the bigger the correction thereafter. This has been a massive rise from $1 to $2.70, and it's been a big correction. But I think with gold moving higher, it's just a matter of time before the gold stocks start to follow. So with the wave 2, I've been suggesting with the Traders Cave, we, where am I? There we go. We've been looking at buying some gold stocks bottoming. This is what we are looking at doing. Where am I now? And then lastly, but not is silver mines, SVL, I think was the silver one. So we've looked at some of the uranium stocks I've done, some of the lithium stocks I've done, some of the gold stocks I've done, and SVL is one that I first suggested to Dave. Again, it did break my rules a little bit, where I did buy this one, but again, I have very strict criteria. So I was getting in at about 10 cents over here. Again, because it was above this 200-day moving average. It was above the 50% RSI on the daily, weekly, and the monthly chart. So again, on the monthly chart, I really, despite this falling down, it's never ever gone below the 50% RSI, despite the correction. Even more recently, where I suggested taking profits, I didn't know silver was going to be short squeezed, but I said over here that if gold SVL ever got above 29 cents, it was going to go very, very much higher. So this is wave 1, wave 2, and we have a target up at 54 cents for SVL. Again, if I look at my little spreadsheet, which I do, here we go. So if we look at SVL, all right, I had 200,000 at 10 cents. All right, I bought and sold. At the moment, I have a pretty big position for a 20-cent stock, but it's made a lot of profit for me at this point. So I started off with at 10 cents, but it's more than doubled for that. But I just buy and sell all the time. So that's what you get for from Traders Caves. You get sectors. I find the best shares in those sectors. Basically, I advise when and where I'm buying. I think there, silver update. So, yeah, David's and I together, great minds think alike. One of our good shares that he was talking about that I did manage to nail, no, not that one. It was called Strategic Elements because it was on his stock to watch. And because it was on his stock to watch, I just actually went and had a look at it. And what I did notice is that, again, it was always above the 50% RSI. So I got in over here at about 15 cents. And wow, I didn't expect it to go up to 40 cents in a short time. And then not only went up to 60, it went up to 90 cents. So it made a 400% in the matter of a couple of, 6-8 weeks. And, when you buy them at 15 cents, you never know where they're going to go. But, with good technical analysis, we know it's going to make, normally wave 3 higher makes 160, 260. I never expected in a dream that it was going to make 400%, but I did manage to get out at some of my friends at 95 cents actually. I then bought back thinking that was all of wave 4, but I thought, nah, you know what, when you've had such a big move up, it's going to take a little bit longer. So again, a very similar pattern I'm seeing so often is after this huge wave 3 up, you've got A, B, C down. And just in closing my little 5 cents worth, I've been watching BHP, and this is a very similar pattern I'm seeing in the market, where obviously we had the COVID crash low where BHP was $24. We've ridden it A, B, C all the way up. That's wave 1, wave 2, pink, and now we hit wave 3 target, which was always based on the breaking above $28 was always hit up there. Again, what I'm seeing and noticing everywhere in the market is wave 3 has been achieved. We've got A down, B up, which is our double top selling area, and we're going to have a correction lower. And yeah, between David and I, we work well together, giving suggestions, and yeah, you know, we've done some good performance. Again, even despite the market was down today, I think some of the shares, the gold stocks that we do have, MZZ and SVL. These are the shares that I have been suggesting over here, MZZ and SVL. These are some of the shares I have been suggesting. Yeah, so between David and myself, I think together it's a great combination that we work well together.
Great. Thanks, Cindy.
Dave, back to you.
Looks like, I think no one had any questions there for Cindy. Let's move on. Thank you. I'll try and grab back control of this. Make presenter me. That'll do. And show my screen. Which screen will I show? Good question. Okay, so back in Cindy land. As you can see, Cindy uses a Elliott wave style, which is a little bit different to mine, but she's started off learning from my Elliott wave webinars, and then has gone and done some more education, and she's come up with some different ideas. Some of those things, does Cindy look at any commodities? Cindy looks at gold. She just showed you there, Gary, but she used to trade a lot of gold, I think, back in South Africa. I can answer that for her, but generally she's looking at the specifically at the Aussie stocks for trading now. She was a full gold member for quite some time, and then reduced it down to being ASX gold member. ASX gold is where you can get to ask me questions on anything. As a Traders Cave member, Cindy shows the trades that she's doing as she's doing them. She doesn't take questions or give advice. She's just showing what trades she does. What I do is I allow questions for my gold membership, so people can ask me questions about anything they like. With Traders Cave, you get simply Cindy's trades, which, as you can see, are pretty astounding. Very astounding. She's a very clever lady, unbelievable, and we're very lucky to have her involved. There has been a decline lately, and she's been managing that decline for people. As you're aware, Gary, you're a member of the Traders Cave, and so here's the important thing I wanted to just point out. I look for these zigzag patterns in the triangles. I occasionally look for the flats and the irregulars. I don't care about 333 and 333. Fourth waves are pretty useful for me, and we'll move on. To trade Elliott wave and to trade well, go with the flow, and that's what I've seen with Cindy. Cindy is a campaign trader. I am a person who likes to grab the bargain and holds on to them forever. And I taught Cindy she says I taught her how to hold on to the money that she's made and keep it and hold on for bigger positions. You don't need to forecast, but you do need to leave your ego at the door, and it's about the trading, and you need to watch the corrections and hang on for the impulsive moves. We're always working for the impulsive moves now. If you're looking for wave 4, if you're working out when you're in wave 4, wave 4s get you wave 5s, which have a greater certainty than any other pattern that we're looking for. So wave 4s give a certainty of about 70%. That's not certainty, but a probability of about 70% you're going into wave 5 to make some money. That's an impulsive move. Cindy is looking for wave 3s. I look for wave 3s too. I like to pick the bargains, but the 70% accuracy comes from the fourth waves. We want to hang on with the impulsive moves and always trade with the stop loss, and understand Elliott wave trade gives you structure in trades even when you're wrong. So we can get price objectives and time targets and an idea of what the psychology of the market is. From what you've seen before, can you do these in your head is a question. If you can't, then look for the Elliott Wave program, and if you want to go to profithunters.com.au, look for the software Elliott Wave. That will cost about $2,800, and then the live data that you need will cost probably about 167 Aussie dollars per month to have the data feed live if you wanted, or about $50 to $80 per month if you want end of day. I can get those for you. Wave Trader 3 and Wave Trader Classic I use for Elliott Wave. Wave Trader 3 is $3,100, and then you need to get some the eSignal software for that. If you want to do that, or you can use the Profit Hunter Group trading signals. You can also access Cindy's work if you've got the Profit Hunter Group. So I'd like to know where you are in your trading. Have you ever got into a trade you shouldn't have? Have you ever been confused as to the direction of the market? Have you ever looked at wave 2 and said, I'm frozen, I don't know what to do, I'm too scared, it's probably going to new lows because I've just watched the news? Well, Cindy and I can get you in on those trades. Have you ever been stumped into where to put a stop loss on? You get a stop loss every time with us. If you want to do a little bit more with your trading, and I know probably a lot of you, if you bought shares, you've probably made some money. The time is coming where it's not going to be so easy to be making money as simply as what we have been. You want to take some of that money, put it into the Profit Hunter Group, get a Traders Cave and a Profit Hunter Group Gold or Silver membership. We can give 3 memberships away tonight for Gold, and we can do unlimited Silver memberships, ASX or full Gold. We can talk a little bit about this. Normally Profit Hunters Gold membership is $5,000 for the year, $3,997 for today only. That's Profit Hunters Gold membership, saving $1,003. 14-day money back guarantee. Profit Hunter Group works. We can single it down to being Australian shares or everything you want to trade around the world, including cryptos. You can read that faster than I can speak it. Silver members, Gold members get to ask all the questions of me, whatever you want, 24 hours a day. Sometimes I'm asleep, so I answer the questions when I wake up. But generally, you can ask questions when you feel like it. Silver members get the answers to those questions. They get the forecast recordings, the bronze membership, which is worth $2,400 for the year, and forecasts get to attend the live webinars. If you're a gold member, silver members get to watch the recording of those webinars, the speed webinars and the transcripts. We also have Profit Hunter Group trades, which we keep a table of the trades that we're in. Traders Cave is $147 per month with Cindy, or if you want to pay and save a couple of months worth of pay for 12 months and get pay for 10 months and get 12 months. Traders Cave is with Cindy, and they're her trades as she's trading. So Traders Cave requires gold or silver membership. Silver membership is available for $3,000 plus GST, and that's normally $4,000. That's a special. If you are here tonight, Traders Cave is either $147 per month or $1,497 per annum. Basically, you've probably all seen this before. There's a bit of a palaver on that. And I think that's it. If you are interested in Cindy's work, and there are people online that are members of Cindy's and members of the Profit Hunter group, just send me an email to david@profithunters.com.au and we can work it out. I think that's it. We have completed the session, and it's probably about 9:30, I think. Where's the timing? Can't see the clock. Used to be a clock up here. Anyway, thank you all for attending. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know if you want to be around, and thank you all very much for attending. Talk to you soon. And a recording will be available for PHG members to replay and have a look at. Thanks everyone. Bye. Night, Abe. Night, Richard. Thanks very much. Have a good one. Bye.